All right, let's go over these 26 right quick, give you a quick brief rundown on what I'm talking about, right? So these are the student codes of conduct for our district, right? All over the United States, each school district, there's rules, right? And so what I try to explain to the students is that this is nothing new. This is what you're going to face. This is what your parents face. These are the personnel rules that they have at their jobs. They slightly vary, but basically everywhere you go, there's going to be a set of rules, right? Dress code. All right, so let's take a look at rule number 1. Non-compliance with directives from principals, teachers, and other school administrators. That's all school staff, adults, right? But again, I stress to them, look, nothing illegal, immoral, or unethical should be asked of you, right? Nobody should be touching you, doing anything crazy, right? You report that to an administrator, to a counselor, to your parents, right? But non-compliance with directives from principals, teachers, and other school personnel, all right? That's the number one reason they get in trouble, right? They want to go off the handle. They want to argue with the teacher. They want to debate the issue. They can't shut up. So what I usually tell them is, look, have you ever watched any police shows? What's the first thing a police officer tells you after they decide they're going to arrest you? Yes, you have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. The same thing applies here, right? Keep your mouth shut, be respectful, and you will probably eliminate 3/4 of your problems, all right? Number 2, dress code. They love wearing saggy pants. Young ladies is now, we're in winter months, young ladies scantily dressed. And of course, the definitions are here, but I don't print those. These are just the titles, right? I do go into depth on what all these actually mean. Integrity, right? Integrity is important. This is the thing that nobody can see. This is the thing, can you be trusted? This is the thing, do you have values, right? Trespassing. Number 4. Number 5, attendance. Yeah, your parents go to work, they got to be on time. You get a job, you got to be on time. This is what they're teaching you and trying to get you prepared for the rest of your life, all right? So let's go down to number 6, inappropriate interpersonal behavior. Now, when I have the video running as far as doing this on the board here, right here, right, I print, or my video recorder has this projected onto the board so they can see, everybody can see it. They can see this, but it's more effective, and I'll show you later when I bring it up on the big screen, right? And we go through each of these. I have a video attached to a lot of these in my outline, and so this one I like particularly, number 6, inappropriate interpersonal behavior, because there's a video that's relatively short that I asked the students. I said, look, do you see yourself in this video, right? Number 7, use of tobacco products, right? Vaping, tobacco. If you're not 18, you're not of legal age to purchase tobacco products, right? So vaping in the bathroom, wherever. Electronic devices, that's your telephone, cell phone, and or your school-issued laptops. There are requirements that you can't use, go on certain websites. These laptops are used only for school purposes. And the fact that you're on these websites, viruses or anything else may go on, and the fact that they can actually find out what websites you're going on. Bus misbehavior. I mentioned that last night in my roundup for the first day back, and because we have these icy roadways, it is imperative that you do not misbehave on the bus, even in dry weather, right? But you got slippery roads now. You're acting out on the bus driver loses control, and now we got a major problem. We got students injured. Bullying, number 10. Bullying harassment is big. In employment, I have a video where the supervisor Karen, if you go back and look at my earlier videos, those are very intense situations. People in authority, bullying and or harassment, right? You got sexual harassment. All these harassments go on in the workplace. This is what we're telling the students. This is what the code of conduct says. And so this is what their parents face, what they'll face. Everybody has these rules, right? Threats and false threats, act of terrorism. That goes on constantly. We just had a terrorist attack for New Year's in New Orleans, right? Students coming to school with little trinkets and things, toy guns, toy knives, all of those things, and or getting on the internet and harassing or bullying other students. Here's a big one. Rule number 12, right? Profanity, obscene, abusive, or disrespectful language. Believe it or not, little Johnny and little Susie, they're cussing the teachers out, right? Calling them bees, whatever, right? This is totally inappropriate, unacceptable. And you wonder what teachers and what they're dealing with. This is what's going on every day, right? And so we go through that litany of why you don't do it. Do you want your mother to be called something at work, your father to be harassed, whatever it is? Rule 13, gambling in the bathroom, doing whatever it is. Back in the day, it was guys in the bathroom, perhaps shooting dice or whatever. 14, sexual harassment. Again, back to bullying and harassment. Sexual harassment. 14, hazing, right? You want to be in a club, association. It's kind of like gang-related, whatever. Challenges that, possibly cause you harm, all right? And so then I'll cover later on the I can statements. This is big in the state of North Carolina because they're talking about adaptability, collaboration, communication, critical thinking, and empathy. Those are all things that are employability skills, right, that you need in the workplace, that the state has said the portrait of a graduate, right? These are the things they want to cover. So let's go over 16. Unjustified activation of a fire alarm or other alarm systems. Now here we have again a situation where this is in the bathroom. I was in high schools the last 2 years, and you've got students in there vaping or doing whatever, smoking, and the alarm is set off, right? And so now everybody's got to go outside. You get these alarms going off, what's going on, administration running around trying to figure out who's in the restroom. And that's why now at this middle school they have Smart Pass, and I think that's throughout the system now, where they have a better monitoring system of figuring out who's in the restrooms, because obviously there's no cameras in the restrooms, right? So fighting and physical aggression. This is the direct pass home, right? Do not do not get bounced, do not get timeout, do not get silent lunch, do not go to ISS. You go directly home. And the deputy here on duty, SRO, is putting these charges and or filing these in the juvenile system, right? So that's not being tolerated. You're not going to have fights, right? 18, assault on an adult, assault on teachers. And that can be verbal. I keep trying to teach these kids. It can be verbal, physical assault. Same thing with 19, assault on students, right? You're bullying, fighting, whatever, right? And all of these things escalate. So I go into how they escalate, right? Rule 20, extortion. It's like blackmail, right? These are things that are going on in schools where you got other schools bullying. This relates. And then we got Rule 21, theft, destruction of school property. Now, when a couple years ago or last year, a few years ago, during graduation, you got these pranks going on. Some students, senior pranks, dump cement down the toilets in a high school in the district, and some other vandalism goes on, and these students wound up, being prosecuted, and or parents have to pay for that. All right, then we go to 22, possession of weapons, firearms, and dangerous instruments or destructive devices. Now, here again, there's no need for you to bring anything like that to school, show and tell, play toys, whatever. You bring this stuff to school, and you're just asking to set off a chain reaction and find yourself all up in a mix, right? 23, narcotics, alcohol, beverages, controlled substances, chemicals, and drug paraphernalia. Again, these are things that you don't need to have on school grounds, obviously, and or those two are very dangerous. Obviously, they all are. But again, then we get down to 24. Here we go. This is what I tell them. These are actual, statutes, and they're relatable criminal charges. Number 24, violation of North Carolina criminal statutes, right? I have an old litany of things I go over as far as criminal statutes and how they relate and the time you might get served for this, right? So any of these can be upgraded depending on the severity, and you find yourself in the criminal justice system. Gang-related and gang-related activities, right? And then we get down to this one right here. Rule number 26, aiding and abetting. No student shall aid and abet another student in violating any of the rules of the student code of conduct. To aid and abet means to help, assist, or facilitate any of the rules. We're having fun, but we ain't playing. All right. So this is the synopsis, and I'll go into this again. But right up in here is where I always use my camera, my projector, and I project with my laptop. I haven't put my laptop up here and hooked it up this morning, but this is a synopsis of what we go over. This is what they go over the first time they ever come into ISS, right? That being said, then what happens is, this is what I set up, right, is ISS vocabulary list and ISS quiz. That vocabulary list is simply an outline, right, of everything that's up here, pretty much scrambled and changed around. And what I have highlighted or in bold: academic integrity, right, honesty in schoolwork, avoiding cheating, plagiarism, dishonesty, assignments and tests, goes to number 3 up here, which is integrity, right? And so what the students have to do is they have to actually, after we go over this in its entirety, I give them this vocabulary list, and they have to go and do this and answer these questions, right? And what they're doing is they're matching as many of the code violations that can apply to whichever number we're talking about. Cyberbullying, 16, right? Bullying or harassing using digital platforms like social media would obviously be, also they would mark on that line, would be 10. Bullying and harassment. It would also be sexual harassment. It could be hazing. It could be threats. It could be a whole lot of different things. And they're matching those by the rule number on this sheet of paper, right? Then, upon completing that, I hand them a quick quiz, right? And on the vocabulary quiz, it's the same thing, basically. But now they are matching the information to the term. Match the vocabulary words correctly to the definition. Taking someone else's property without permission, right, is theft, is B, right? And so they would put B on the line. And so at that point, they've completed that portion, right? They turn those in, and they're in the work. This is all the work that was done from last year, 2024. And if they come back, right, they're promised that they will then absolutely have to write these down. I printed them out. I've got like several copies of these. I printed these out. They have to sit to their desk, right? They'll sit here because you've been here before. And I'm not wasting my time. And we've gone over this individually or collectively for every new student that came in. You've taken the quiz and the test. You now have to, when you come back, you're a repeat offender, you're going to write each of these down, all 26 of them, right, by hand, each time you come in, right? And here is a longer definition of the codes that I also put on the board. This gives a detailed outline of the definition, all right? So the same thing applies here, right? These are the full definitions of what is briefly put up here as the title, but this is the nuts and bolts of the violation. Integrity. Students shall not cheat, lie, plagiarize, falsify, or notes or other documents, or provide false information to school officials with regard to any report card, attendance matter, grades, or progress reports, discipline matters, or any other school business. Students should also refer to the Internet Acceptability Use Policy for governing integrity and use of electronic resources. Cheating is producing academic work by means of dishonesty or deceit, right? And so, as you can see, that's how that correlates and relates to both the vocabulary list and the vocabulary quiz, right? And all that goes on each day, every day, right? And if they're repeat offenders, of course, and if they have no class work assigned, this is work that they must complete before they leave at the end of the day, all right? So that's just another brief review of what goes on in the life and the day of ISS in a program that's geared to change behavior. And as I mentioned the other day, 5,000 role models. And you can see here also some certificates I have of Miami-Dade County. I was appointed to the police oversight for City of Miami for 4 years, and we reviewed cases. Also, I've been honorary juvenile justice deputy secretary that was presented to me with the 500 role models of excellence before they became the 5,000 role models of excellence in Miami-Dade County. So that's it in a nutshell. And so I'll get a little deeper into this later. But again, this is what it looks like, right? And so from my view, I'm sitting here, right? My projector is here. I turn it on, and right here, I can print. I have a blown up copy on my projector, and we go over each one of these. Each one of these appears here, and we read it out loud, and they see it. And so there's no way. So when they come back, I'm like, okay, why are we here? So when they walk through the door, of course,